road with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve. Because one street over there's a life I could have known would have kept me from the one I love today. One street.
Hello, let's get into it. Good morning. This is 1100 WSGI. Do I sound a little giddy this morning? There is a reason why, because it is the final day of summer break, and I'm excited about it. Patrick Nix is in the house, my brother in Christ. I say brother, sister, and everybody. I didn't know they were your brother, and I'm like, in Jesus, yes,
Right.
So one of my kids at school last night, she goes to church with me at Madison, and I was like, little sister, and they looked at her like, in Jesus, I had to clarify for some of her peers, it's like, she's not my little sister. It's like, that's a big gap in years,
Right.
But it's so funny. I'm excited. Last day of summer break, teachers go back. Well, the kids actually are off on Monday, but the teachers go back on Monday. And so the schedule next week, if you've got kids in Robeson County, teachers are there Monday, kids come in on Tuesday, half day, then they're there a whole day Wednesday. They're off on Thursday. We have professional development because it's an election day.
Gotcha.
And we'll be done with all these gubernatorial ads. Praise the Lord. I think we're all getting tired of all that mess.
Yes.
Ugh. Anyway, I don't know why I ever messed with politics. You have to just kind of get it out of your system.
Oh, my
And I
goodness.
did.
Yep.
And the Lord says I don't have to do that no more. So I'm not. But anyway, I stay engaged and I will vote, and I hope you will too. And then Friday's full day back at it, and we'll kind of get going with it. So
We're on I live in the Sumner side, and our kids in White House got a full week delay.
Yes.
You heard about the Sumner County
the
getting hacked?
breach.
Yes.
The
Yep.
breach. Wow. I didn't realize you were on the Sumner side.
Just
okay.
barely over.
Barely.
Yep.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. And yeah, that was weird. That was so strange,
Mm-hmm.
But you guys got another week, and they say they're just going to eat it up as a snow days. That's what, because one of the teachers over at White House,
Okay.
is extended family. He is married to my daughter-in-law's cousin. And so Jacob was telling me that what they're going to do, they've already told them that they're going to absorb it in their snow day package,
Gotcha.
basically.
Okay.
So they're going to start the year with 5 snow days eaten up.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. But
Yeah. My kids were worried that they would, encroach on fall break or Christmas break. So hopefully.
that's not the plan from
Good.
what he told me.
Good.
And he is a teacher.
Yeah.
He's one of the basketball coaches too at White House High School.
Okay.
And so from what he told, and I just talked to him last weekend, and
We couldn't find a public schedule, so I was hopeful because
Yeah.
we didn't take a summer vacation. We were taking a big fall break
They
vacation.
wouldn't do that to you
Yeah.
because Dr. Weeks and I have talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
And when we had that extended snow time, they applied for an extension, like an emergency extra days and those kinds of things. And Sumner County could probably do the same thing because
Right.
sometimes crazy things happen.
Sure. Yeah.
And you don't want to encroach on where families have made plans. Maybe they're taking a cruise fall break, and
Yeah.
that's thousands of dollars. And same thing with spring break. And so Dr. Weeks said they would not want to encroach on that for families because you want families to spend that time together.
Yeah.
So,
You've released a calendar a year in advance,
yeah,
and
exactly.
makes it difficult.
So they try to really be careful about that. But
Good.
everything I've heard from Sumner County is that's going to be counted as snow days. So
Good.
you can tell your kids, phew. And again, that's not official, but it's from a teacher there.
Sure.
So I
Okay.
think that they've been pretty well informed. So
Good.
But last day of summer for this teacher, and I'm ready to get at it. We had our open house last night, our go night at Greenbrier. Springfield had theirs as well. And it's just good to see everybody. And I'm
Right.
hugging kids that are seniors, and I can't believe the ones that aren't going to be there this year that graduated last year. It's just so weird when they say bye because then they never come see me. It's like, come see Miss Vivio. But anyway, it's all good. It's all good. But I was telling Patrick, I came in just I mean, I've been doing better. I've been getting here earlier, not this morning, because as I was coming up my road, I live out past the wastewater plant and they're building the new wastewater plant.
Okay.
We've got so much heavy equipment and trucks coming down Lawrence Lane now. And that is a residential road. People walk on it. It's just beautiful down through there. And there's a cornfield. We live at the bottom of the hill up against the creek and the hills and all that. And the Lord's blessed me to live in a park. And I'm just so thankful every day. And so, but it's down at the valley. And so as I come up the hill and turn that, it's a super sharp, extreme corner. And now that the corn's up, it's blind. And so you've got these massive trucks and concrete trucks coming around that corner. And I mean, I'm just kind of creeping around it going, Lord, let them not run over me, because they have to turn wide and they can't see me.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because they can't see over the corn. You know, they don't see me past the corn. It's completely blind right there. And so as I was kind of creeping around it this morning, then as soon as I got up there, my neighbor was walking and I stopped and talked to her and I was like, you know how blind that is right there. Don't even think about walking through there because they're liable to run over you.
Right.
And so we had a little conversation, but you got to be mindful of those kinds of things. When you're walking, the corn is so tall, you know, that you might not be seen. You may think you are, but man, I love getting out and walking, but please be careful and be mindful. Look around and think, if I were driving, would I see me?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I get real worried about some of the walkers on our road because Amanda Shaman, not Amanda Shaman, Jagger, that was before she was married, sweet little girl that moved in on Lawrence Lane, and she's a kindergarten teacher. She's coming to Greenbrier. And anyway, I digress. When I first met her, it was because it was when she was college age, she was jogging in black. And I said, sweetie, you're going to get hit.
Wow. Yeah.
And she remembers that because I'll stop and talk to you. If I can't see you, I will pause and say, I couldn't see you.
Right. Sure.
You know, and you need to be doing something, you know.
I don't generally worry, you know, the taller and bigger you are, you know, when you're 6.5 feet tall and 300 pounds, I don't worry about not being seen. But yeah.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah,
and
sure.
if you're not wearing some kind of, I love our sweet little sheriff that walks from the housing area over here on Central.
Mm-hmm.
And we just call him Sheriff because he is special needs adult.
Okay.
And he's probably 50, 60 years old.
Okay.
But he's, you know, childlike, sweet as he can be. And, you know, you talk to him and that somebody has given him a reflective vest because he walks to the Dollar General every day, several times.
Yeah.
And sweet as he can be. But I was so tickled somebody got him a little vest to wear, you know. And so nonetheless, just be careful out there if you're walking with the corn so tall. Just think, can they see me? So anyway, that was what I was doing this morning, talking to my neighbor. And anyway, hi. It's 7:10. Good morning. This will be the last day you'll see me in my ball cap. I'll have to start, you know, dressing professional and, you know, looking like I didn't just roll out of bed on Monday.
Yeah.
So,
no more sleeping in for you.
No, sleeping. I mean, we get up at 3:30 during school. And, but I've been sleeping until 6, you know, and that's sleeping in for me during the week, you know, but don't call me before 10 a.m. on Saturday, unless I got somewhere to be. Right. That's my day.
Right.
Leave me alone. But anyway, so yeah. Are you a morning person?
You know, no, not anymore. I don't know, physically, just probably went through some changes.
Yeah.
My thyroid quit working and other things. And so,
I got you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wish the Lord didn't make me be, because I'm one of these. I was this kid that used to stay up really late at night because I'm of course, it's because my brain is spinning and I'm thinking about all these things and can't sleep. And so I don't know how good that is, but I used to stay up until all hours. My mother would get so mad at me. And I've never been a morning person. And for him to thrust me into the world of morning radio, it's just like his little joke.
A little sick joke, yeah.
And it's been that way. And when they wanted me to come do this show, I'm like, do I really want to get up and do radio in the mornings again? And I'm like, yeah, I do. Let me say one more thing and then we'll get on to what you're here for.
Yeah.
Kelly Sutton, wow. They have put she has a show now. Okay. You know, we all lost Bill Cody.
Mm-hmm.
And they announced, I guess yesterday, Charlie Maddow is my friend. I've talked about how I know Charlie. We work together. But Kelly, it's the Kelly Sutton Show now on WSM Radio. And if I'm not mistaken, that is the first time we've had a female full-on morning show that is centered around a woman in Nashville.
Really?
I'll have to talk to my girlfriends in my broadcast girlfriends to know for sure. But I don't think we've ever had a female morning show, even on talk radio. I got to thinking about on WLAC back in the day, did we ever have Ruth Ann Leach at one point? She hosted a show, and y'all know who she is, but I don't think she did the morning show. But I think this is the first female-driven morning show in the history of Nashville broadcasting.
Wow.
And I'm proud of you, sister, and excited to see that announcement. And I got to reach out to her specifically because she's just a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, congratulations. Congratulations. So that was announced yesterday. And I think it's either starting next week or the next is official start.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Super exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, and now we just got to get some, leeway in the church with the girls too. Come on. Let me get
Radio.
You knew where I was going. You knew where I was going, Patrick. No, I'm kidding. I didn't do that on purpose, but I was super proud to see that.
Sure.
That's pretty stinking awesome. So anyway, so what do you want to talk about today?
Oh man. I didn't know if you had an agenda. I
always have an agenda.
Well,
I'm teasing.
I have been. I got one thing to bring up, and if it goes, it goes. But I've been teaching through Esther, and it is there's a book in the Bible, and it's the only book in the Bible that never mentions the name of God. It never references Him.
Really, Esther?
Esther.
No.
Never mentions God. The early church really struggled with it being in the canon because it, like every other book,
I have never noticed that. That is one of those, what?
Yeah.
Because you just assume oh, you've really bit my brain this morning. I'm like, no way.
Yep.
Whoa.
And so,
okay.
But like as I'm reading and studying and of course other resources and Bible software and different things, it's so visible and so plain and so clear who God is and where He is in the whole book. Can we? And so it's just got my mind going. Like we often pray with how we should for God to do a miracle, God break through, God do what only You can do. We want to worship You. We want to see You in this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's right. So, but the book of Esther is God happy and pleased to work. His authority is very visible, but you don't see Him or hear His name. Now, you see everything He does, just like the wind. You see the moving of the trees in the book of Esther.
Yeah.
You see all the leaves shake. You even see at times like drastic things that the wind has done, that God has done.
Right.
But you never see Him. You never hear His name.
You never hear Yahweh. Yeah,
No,
Wow.
not even Elohim, not a general reference to God. It's just kind of one of those, so subtle, but it's throughout. I mean, it's woven throughout the book. You cannot miss it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Because of all the things that happen, you're like, well, yeah, that was God.
Mm-hmm.
But they never said it. Well, it's like the heavens declare the glory of God, the skies proclaim the work of His hands. You don't have to hear Him to know Him just by seeing, because it's all around you. How can you not? And so as you read Esther, you see Him throughout because of the timing, and the grace, and the
even the thing that I said Sunday was there's so much that's not sanitary. Like here is a pagan king who makes a stupid rule because his queen, his wife, rebelled and said, "No, I'm not doing what you say," which was you can't do.
Yeah.
So then they made this stupid rule and said, "Men, basically, men, you better boss your wife and you better keep her in subjection, or else she'll do this." There's this whole rule that goes out, and so, but God used that rule. God used that king, and all of that helped set the stage.
Wow.
And so anyway, just
Such a time as this.
yeah, you're right. And so
Such a time as this.
I have preached
Ooh.
different passages through Esther, like
Okay.
like
Yeah,
that phrase,
yeah.
but I never walked through. So that's been a trip to preach a message out of
Yeah.
a book that never mentions God. But so it's been really neat.
Okay, well, what is the verse about? And when the time had come about Christ, it's like in the New Testament. It's like when the time was perfect. What is that verse?
Galatians 4:14.
Maybe but you know what I'm talking about? It's like I never really
In the
put
fullness of time.
the fullness of time
Yep.
about why was Christ born when he was born.
Mhm.
It was in the fullness of time. And it kind of echoes that for such a time as this.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You kind of make that connection. I love it when you see the diagram of this to this from the Old Testament to the New Testament.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
we've all seen that. That kind of went viral over the last year. And
All the different cross-reference
yes,
points. Yes. Uh-huh.
and it's beautiful to see, but that's one I've never really thought about, is how, that for such a time as this is almost it's for such a time, it's in the fullness of time. And I don't know, I kind of see a connection there, but.
So it's got me thinking, and I wanted to ask you, we've never
Okay.
talked about it.
Okay.
And I need everybody to, especially, if you're online and you can leave a comment. Where do you stand? Because the book is about the sovereignty and the providence of God.
Mm-hmm.
How that God he literally used decisions where people intended it for a genocide. That was their Hitler. Haman came in and said, I'm going to kill all the Jews, right?
Yeah.
And God used that was their decision, but God overruled. So you had man's free will, and then you had God's overrule.
Yeah.
So where do you stand on the whole sovereignty, providence of God versus, like the big debate now is election and predestination, and does God make those choices, and we're just kind of acting it out, or do we make our choice? And where do you stand on that? Because that, or do you find yourself somewhere in the middle? Theologically, great people have landed on both sides.
It's probably one of the harder questions to really wrestle with, because whenever I think about how that, okay, if you could go back in time and keep Hitler from rising,
Oh boy, yeah.
of course, dear God. And it's like, I'm fascinated, not fascinated, but my heart breaks when I look at some of the things that people have endured over time.
Mm-hmm.
And we look back at the times of when over the Holocaust and what happened with Hitler, and you see these archived pictures of these precious people about to be slaughtered, and you see their faces and they're real, and they were, moments after this picture was taken, they were murdered. And it just stops your heart. And then you think about the people in Sudan and Nigeria right now that are being slaughtered in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And the genocide that's happening now, it just makes your head spin, and you're like, why, Lord? And it's because it's a broken world, and it's breaking his heart as much as it's breaking our heart. But if there's not a choice between good and evil, there's no choice at all. And we have to just kind of go, we have to bear it until we don't have to bear it. And he's already seen the movie. That's how I've always kind of equated it in my brain.
Gotcha.
It's like, I love how at Capitol Theater, they're doing all these classic movies. They did Goonies last Saturday, and I think they're going to do Wizard of Oz this Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They did Back to the Future.
Oh.
So while I would love to go and sit and watch that movie, I know what's going to happen.
Right.
And I can't change it. I wouldn't choose to change it because it's classic. And it's the choice of the artist and the creator who made that.
Sure.
So I'm not going to reach in and think, I can do Wizard of Oz better. I can make Goonies better. I know what's going to happen. And that's how I see the Lord, as he's seen the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He knows the beginning and the end and all of it. And he created us, and we made our choices. He knew we were going to make. It's just like I did a lesson years ago. It's when I was at the Blaze. It was one of the ones I recorded while in the studio there, because Glenn let us just wander around and do whatever we wanted to do. It was really cool. But so I did this one coming up on Easter called Tetelestai, and basically said that, in the beginning, the Word was with God and the Word was God. He was there. And at that moment where it says, let's create man in our image, he knew. He knew.
Right.
And it was that process. He had to sit in that very moment. He had to watch them fall in the garden and then go through all the things that they went through with the kings and the judges and all the things, all the way to it's like, okay, here I go.
Right.
And at that moment on the cross, when he took that last breath, okay, the plan of redemption's done. It's finished, to Telestai. I've never taken it as being his life ministry is done. No, the plan of redemption is done. What I saw begin whenever the Father said, let's create man in our image. He knew. They've seen the movie, and in that moment on the cross, the plan's done. What I've been watching from that moment is finished, to Telestai, right? And so that's how I see it.
Okay.
I see it completely as, yeah, he knows. And sometimes he intercedes, you know, because we see the miracles.
Yes.
We see the miracles. It's like, I was listening to, have you followed Josh Howerton?
Oh, yeah.
I love him.
Yes.
I love him. Now, I don't completely agree with him. He gets off on the girl stuff sometimes. And I'm like, well, and no, actually, I think he and I probably are, I think we're good. But I don't want to go down that rabbit hole anyway. But I really love him a lot. He has something that he was saying the other day. He said, when you're praying for your wayward child or you're praying for healing, pray for the supernatural. Don't be like, oh, if it's your will, Lord. No, Lord, you said you would. Do it supernaturally. Blow us away.
Right.
You know?
Well, and that's,
and so
whether we think about the theology of it or not, we do. I mean, we ask for God to intervene a lot. You know,
right,
I mean,
right. And sometimes he does.
Yeah. And so, yes, we're living in a sin broken world. That movie is playing.
Right.
But then we want free will. You know, we want our choices, right?
Right.
But then in another case, in another sense, we do ask for God to break into that, not to break a wayward child's free will, but to arrange things in such a way that convinces that free, you know, whether we think about, hey, I'm a Calvinist, I'm an Arminian, I'm a, you know, I believe in the providence or the fatalism of God. You know, however we say it, our prayer life reflects it. You know, how our worldview reflects it. And in the book of Acts, I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, the people are moving their own pieces on the chessboard, but somehow God is able to, underneath all of that. I mean, here you've got a man who saved the king's life by Mordecai, saved the king's life. He reported a plot. He never gets rewarded. It gets written down in the book of Chronicles. And then years later, the king can't sleep. And it's between the day where Haman has schemed this Holocaust and when the day of the purge actually happens.
Right.
And all of a sudden now the king can't sleep, coincidentally. What are you going to, let's go get the book of Chronicles. That's pretty boring. And, you know, he's laying in his bed and he's like, and he hears the reading of what happened a few years ago. And he's like, did we ever honor that guy? No. So the fact that the injustice was done even was part of God,
part of the story.
Part of the story that God used, again, not violating free will, but how he does it. He's so good at it. Right.
Right.
And so he's taking the colors that we all choose and weaving something that we can't even understand, you know? Yeah. And so it's to me, when I read Romans and I read Romans 8 that says that we're predestined and he foreknew us, he predestined us, he justified us, he's going to glorify us. And I read that and I think some of that's my responsibility and some of that's God saying, doesn't matter what you do, I'm going to do my part.
Right.
And then you get to like Romans 9, and Romans 9 says, that's where the passage says, Esau have I hated, Jacob I loved. Like I knew what was going to happen in that family. You know, like
right.
And Esau wanted it, but it even looks like God strong-armed the whole situation. You know, and it's like, God, do you do that? And then you turn the page at Romans 10. He says, whosoever will may come. You know, and then he says, if you don't go, LaVern, you don't go to the Baja, how will they hear without a preacher?
Mm-hmm.
So it's God saying, I'm putting it on you. So
Mm-hmm.
you have one chapter where it says it's us and God, God and us. You have one chapter where it says God did it. You have one chapter that says you better do it. And then in chapter 11, to hold the whole thing off, he says again, like there's this tree and the Jews rejected, so I broke them off.
Mm-hmm.
Their choice, my choice. I'm putting in the church, my choice. But if you don't obey, then you'll be broken off too. Again, our choice, God. So there's this beautiful blend, and I don't know how it works, but
Yeah.
there's this blend of like, God, I'm praying for ultimate healing, but if you choose to use medicine and doctors and it's not your name, it's Dr. So-and-so's name on the healing list, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm fine with that because I know that you're that good. What kind of king and God doesn't need his name in the headline?
Yeah.
He doesn't even need his name in the whole book for you to say that was definitely him.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah,
And
you
so-
just bit my mind. I never noticed that about that. I never noticed that about Esther at all. And that just, oh, wow. Okay.
And here's another
Good stuff, preacher.
one. Esther was an orphan, right?
Right.
Okay, raised
Right.
by her uncle.
Right.
Okay, so bad circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she did. In fact, the Bible word was she was not taken like kidnapped, but she had no control over it. It's a passive
Mm-hmm. Sure,
verb.
yeah, you just
Yeah.
like,
So, but Mordecai is of the family of Kish, which meant that his family were refugees, and then refugees in Israel, and then, of course, all the Israelites living in Persia at that time were refugees because of Nebuchadnezzar.
right.
So they were twice refugees.
Okay.
So she's without parents. She gets adopted by a guy who's
A refugee.
a refugee,
himself.
yes. And they're living in this. And now she's stuck in this beauty pageant, bachelor style game
Yeah.
show.
Can you imagine?
Yes. You've got to go to the king tonight.
How
You know
demoralizing.
what the king
Yeah.
expects.
Yeah.
You're going to spend a night in the king's chamber.
Yeah.
Here, take what you need. And here she has the character to say, no, I'm going to be myself. I'm not going to try to impress or
Yeah.
take this. And it's a beautiful mix of what God is doing
Mm-hmm.
and then what God hands us, and that God gives her favor, and but she still has that responsibility.
Mm.
And so, anyway, you can tell it's just got me like
Oh, yeah.
clicking in my mind.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I went in and watched the Odyssey movie, and I was just like, I was seeing all of that, the sovereignty of God. God has authority. God's ruling. They're giving credit to Zeus. I know who's really, and it's not even a real story, but I'm seeing like God's providence and you know him. It's wild.
See, and I haven't. I've heard about I've got my my kiddo that is not following his faith is coming to see the Odyssey movie, and I've heard it's got God in it,
Oh,
and
uh-huh.
you know, and so do you think it's a good thing for him to see when he's questioning God? You know, I mean, I have no control over it. He's a grown man. Him and his wife are coming to see it, but.
Yeah.
You know, so I haven't, because it's like 3 hours long, right?
I've seen it twice.
Man.
Yeah,
It's going to
is-
have to come out where I can watch it at home so I can watch it.
no!
twice.
It is absolutely. So
Really?
this last time, my son took me the first time. We went to Indian Lake and watched it there.
Yeah.
On the IMAX, the bigger screen,
Right.
because it's one of those epics. I mean,
Okay.
you know. Well, then I told Joy, I said I would love like Opry Mills has an IMAX that's like
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah,
biggest.
that's the one they're coming to.
Yeah, but it's been sold out.
Yeah, that's
They had 7 a.m. showings, 3 a.m. showings.
Yeah.
So Joy, she said, honey, let's go watch it. We had something, plans change and cancel.
Uh-huh.
We had an open evening. So she got on there, and the only 2 seats available were the 2, and this was like right at showtime. She didn't do this days before. So,
Yeah.
but so the 2 handicap accessible seats, and they're not even seats. They're just two blocked off squares in dead center in the middle of the theater.
Oh, wow.
On ground level, you walk in, there's seats below you, seats above you, and right in the center of the theater, dead center, are these 2 spots that say handicap. And so nobody had booked them. There were other handicap seats. I wasn't taken from the
Yeah,
handicap.
absolutely. If
Yeah.
they're not being used,
Yeah, right.
absolutely.
And so, but there's no chairs. And so Joy's like, she said, let's just throw our lawn chairs in. So the people around us
I
were
love
like, you're a
this.
genius.
love this. This is hysterical.
I mean,
everybody's going to be going, I'm doing it.
Yes, yes. So I threw 2 of those, the folding lawn chairs.
That is brilliant.
I just threw them over my shoulder. We bought the tickets. And so, I mean, it was the most expensive movie tickets I've ever bought that I didn't even have a chair for.
That's
and
hysterical.
So we snuck in right as the movie, got started and sat down. Yes.
No way. That is awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. I've just looked at the time. We got to do some breaks. I've got 3 breaks I got to do.
Oh man.
And I was just sitting where I'm having so much fun talking to Patrick. Anyway, like I said, you can come on anytime. We do have the second Friday open if you want to lock that in and that be your day.
Don't put me on the spot for a minute.
He's like, okay, well, I can just call you and kind of see, because I know your schedule's kind of, all over the place.
It's tougher.
So anyway, but we'll work it out, because
maybe if you do it at 9 o'clock instead of 7.
Yeah, I know. Because I was just fussing at him. I said, we love coming and worship with you guys at Fluellen, because I mean we're at Madison, that's our home congregation, but because our grandkids are all over, we have to adjust our schedule. So we're only at Madison about one Sunday a month these days, but a lot of the times the kids are coming here, and so we want to stay here. And so Sunday we had that day. The kids were coming down. We went to the theater after it had lunch because it was one of them's birthday and all that. One of my grandsons, and so we went to the 9 o'clock service with Springfield Baptist and heard Brother David Evans, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And so I told him, I said, y'all need an early service too, but when we need early, we'll go see David, and we'll come see you whenever we're sleeping in.
Yeah, there you go.
And then going to Kentucky or something. You know what I mean? But we just, our Sundays, that's our day trip days. Yeah. But we want our worship time. So we're trying to navigate the timing.
Somebody told me the other day that I was basically, you're preaching so long, but we don't want to tell you to stop. So we're just going to move the time of the service sooner so we can get out in time to go eat lunch. That's what they told me.
See, I love it when a preacher, if you're going and you got something to share, man, I'll roll with you, man. Right. We'll stay there until 2. And, I don't have any problem with that at all. But, sometimes I do have to meet my kids or something, because I want to keep my relationships going with my children and my grandkids. But anyway, I digress. We got to do these ads. Yes, let's talk for a second about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. I'm super excited. We've got Barry coming in, and I don't know if Rebecca's coming with him or not. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. But Barry and I, we're good friends. We can sit and talk forever. The audio video connection, he's my go-to when I have questions a lot of the times, because he was for 17 years a media marketing vice president in Nashville. So he is an expert at the things that I have questions about. And so he's super helpful. But can you imagine having somebody like that on your team when you're selling property, that can do the videography, the photography, the drone footage, the walkthrough tours, all the things to make sure your property's seen in the absolute beautiful best light. And you see that displayed if you go to his Facebook page, because they have a property. He's coming in to talk about the property that they have for sale right now that they're handling. It's between here and Orlinda, has a cave on it. And so he took cameras in and did some spelunking. He didn't, but the spelunkers did. And they've got video from inside this cave, and he put all that up. I mean, of course you want to buy that property. It's so stinking cool. And then they also did a really cool video about a property that's for sale up in Sumner County. This is the Oak Grove School from 1925, is now for sale. It's a historic property. And what's really cool about this was part of the 7 schools that were funded by the Julius Rosenwald Fund for African-American students up in Sumner County. Only 3 are still standing. And again, the Oak Grove School from 1925 is now for sale. Incredible historic property. So he's going to come in and he's going to talk about the things that they've got going that are just so unique right now. And then everything else they do, great properties all over. They're in Robertson County. They've been here for 30 years, but they have a diverse background. So they buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. Like myself, as I've said many times, they are originally from Kentucky. They've got properties up in Nashville. He spent so many years working in Nashville, so he knows the area very well. But you're going to have a lot of fun talking to or hearing from him on Monday, maybe Rebecca as well, and just kind of getting an update on what's going on with them and Exit Prime Realty. And I imagine they'll talk to you a little bit about if you want to be a realtor, they'd love to mentor you. Samuel and Brandy Hastings are a part of the Exit Prime team. They'd love to make you a part of it too. And if you want to reach out to them, if you're buying or selling, you want to be a realtor, whatever your questions are, you can bring them to us on Monday or you can reach out to them today. Sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, B-U-Y, robertsoncounty.com, or you can give them a call at 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425 or 7424, and let them know U-Turn sent you. Patrick Nix is in the house. He's been bending our brain because how many of us have ever thought about the fact that God is never mentioned in Esther? That blew my mind. And we're talking about the, predestination and makes you just bends your mind. It really does. And then we also have the really good tip about going and seeing the Odyssey. That was brilliant.
So that all right. That I'm gonna go on a little Homer and Iliad and Odyssey thing. Okay.
Okay.
So
Let's do it.
I'm familiar with the story.
Right.
I think everybody that goes to high school, has to come in. Probably do they still do that where you have to come in contact with the Iliad or the Odyssey?
Assuming, but I'll be honest with you, I'm one of these that I don't guess I've ever read. I mean, I know.
Sure.
I don't. When I said, "Do you think it will be good for my son to see?" I know what it is, because I've studied it to that degree, but I don't know how they're presenting it in movie fashion.
Right.
You can take something and it be this over here, but then when you put it on the screen, it has a totally different perspective.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
and I see it through a gospel lens.
Yeah.
I can watch a movie that has nothing to do with God, and I tell them, like, hey, there's the Jesus figure. Hey, there's this. You see his entrance, you see his self. So I see those things, and I can watch Dune, which is maybe even historically anti-God in some ways, and I'm like, that's got Jesus and the Jews and the church all over it, So I don't know about how somebody else. It's amazing to me that Homer lived at the time, like we read the Bible and we look at Amos and Joel, and maybe even Hosea or Isaiah. That's when Homer was living.
Oh, yeah.
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 So
exactly. Exactly.
Hundreds of years before Jesus. And then he wrote this, and the setting of the movie would have been during the times of like Samson and Delilah and Gideon, like the time of the judges.
Right.
And so, and he tried to be accurate. And it blew my mind that there was such, and I don't know if this was the case in Israel, but there was such mysticism in the work that the Norse gods or the Greek gods, that those did have such a pull as they, to me, it's more mythology.
Right.
It's moved into the fable realm.
Right.
But it wasn't that way before.
Right.
Like, people were people did take that serious, and how the drift toward the idea of, the fact that they're not literal or not real. But it kind of puts me in mind that those were some of the struggles then with all the polytheism, and that's the context that Paul went to in the book of Acts.
Oh, yeah.
And said, you've got this God, and you've got this God, and you've got this God. Let me tell you about the God you don't know yet. And to me, I'm in my mind making those connections and thinking about Samson or Gideon, and I'm thinking about Hosea, and as I'm thinking about Paul, and I want to go see it again because it just is historically, although it's fiction. Right. There's a lot of it connected to history, and especially biblical history for me. And so for me, I'm just, oh man, to me, it's lighting the board up, Well,
it's like, okay, in my students, we took the Ides of March and presented that kind of in a satire and did a video on it.
Okay.
But the historical things that were happening that changed the world during that time, going from being having Caesars versus being a republic.
Right.
That change happened because of what happened, the Ides of March after Caesar was assassinated. And the battle that went on, the historical accuracies in that story.
Sure.
And that's something I talk to the kiddos about is you understand this is part of the story, but this really happened. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like you got to look at those things. And so, and I've never read the Odyssey, and I've never read any of that. So
I don't know that I read the whole thing, but I don't know. I knew the story.
I know the story, but
I did not. So I'm a dummy. I didn't realize that the Trojan horse part of that was fiction, entirely fiction. I thought that had historical basis. And I don't know if other people feel that, but I always thought that was like the Battle of Troy and over
Yeah.
Ithaca. I always thought that was rooted in history or historic.
Okay.
But it comes from Homer. That's out right straight out of Homer's head. And
Interesting.
it's so closely tied with some of those we talked about historical fiction before and
Yeah.
the power that it has.
Oh, yeah.
And but you can definitely hear it for its time. I don't know that it would have been considered propaganda, but it was definitely something that had an agenda.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a beautiful story. That agenda doesn't land for me because I'm not a historic Greek,
Mm-hmm.
I can appreciate the beauty of, but man, what a story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got a little bit of horror and jump scare. It's got some action and some like war. It's not gratuitous. It's not, they don't splatter blood just for, it's got love and betrayal and then it's got like virtue and justice. I
really want to go see it. I know my
take your lawn chair.
Yeah. That would crack my son up if I showed up. I don't know what time they're going because they bought two of the last tickets, they could get. And because he is traveling today and getting home, I don't know when they're coming, but they're just going to come up and go to the movie and then go home because I'm like, you're not coming to see Mom, but you know how I like to mess with him. But you're going to be in Nashville and I'm not going to see you. But because they live down in Huntsville. But if we just showed up with our lawn chairs, he'd be like, "Oh, mother."
Hey, wanted to hang.
Oh, it's hysterical. I need to find out. I'm gonna call his bride and say, what time are y'all going to the movie? I think we've given it away, though. Too many people are like, you can buy the handicapped seats at the last minute.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hysterical.
Well, I had never thought of it. And,
No.
and Joy looked at me and said, well, hey, let's do it. And so here I am. I thought for sure we were going to get stopped. And the lady, she didn't even blink. Like, we're in line. Here's our tickets. I've got these lawn chairs over my shoulder. These little condensing folding things. And I mean, they were so comfortable. I mean, it just kicked your legs out, and it was just like get to.
Oh yeah,
it was so wild.
that's
couldn't believe.
hysterical, and you're like right there.
Yes,
That's got the best seats in the house.
It was
really
so cool.
That is so awesome.
Then it was over. Everybody's clapping and getting, and I would just whoop and just leave. It was fun.
That's a great story. Oh my word, I love that story. That is so fun. Oh, and I mean, everybody's doing it now. Everybody's like, oh, they're on the line.
Yeah,
buy those
two
tickets.
more tickets.
That's so funny. That is so funny. But yeah, I've heard great things about it, and I know I just the idea of being in a movie for 3 hours just makes my brain hurt.
Well,
because I have a really short attention span, and
I fall asleep in movies. I do.
Oh yeah, I do too.
But Christopher Nolan, the guy who directed this, he weaves it. There's the flashbacks and flash forwards, and so if you told the tale as it was written in the book, I don't think we do have the attention span for that.
Yeah.
But the way that he
does
directed and produced. Oh
interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
he's one of my favorites. I mean, you look at some of the movies he released, and it's just
Well, do they have like an intermission or anything?
You would think,
It's like if I'm going to go to something this epic, I'm going to want to be there for it, but can we pause it?
Yeah, have a potty break in the
exactly.
Yes,
but that's interesting.
And heads up, we didn't realize, so we actually missed the first couple on the second movie. Joy is a question asker. Are you like when you sit in a movie? Why are you doing this?
Yes, yeah. Oh, I'm totally.
I'm not. I'm like, shut up. Well, I had already seen the movie, and so she's like, what? But we got in there. There's no previews on the big movie on the IMAX.
Starts.
It just starts because of the screen, because it's
and it's
the
3
feature.
hours long too. Yeah, interesting. Well, see, I'm one of those people that I will read the end of a book to see if I want to bother with it. I'm not kidding. I will. I mean, I'll read the end of it, and I'm one of these. I kind of got to know what's happening. We were watching this stupid show that all of a sudden they killed off the main character. It was a British show, and I'm like, well, I'm mad. I'm just going to turn it off. I'm not watching it anymore. Because it was so abrupt.
Yep.
And so I'm one of these people. I kind of got to know what's going to happen. But now I'm going to download the Odyssey, and I'm going to go through it before I watch it. Maybe
After seeing it the second time, I noticed that in the first 2 or 3 minutes, and in the last 30 seconds, you actually have scenes that could be in it. Like, is this the beginning of the movie or the end of the movie?
Interesting.
And so the way he lays it out and links it, it's,
Yeah.
the very last scene
Huh.
is actually from the first
Okay.
5 minutes of the story.
Interesting. I'll be interested to hear what my kiddos think after they see it. Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I'm going to take a couple. I've got 6 kids and 4 still at the house, and a couple of them that are still at the house. They haven't seen it.
Yeah.
My oldest son took me, and it was my
Yeah.
birthday. Then father, whatever.
Fun.
So,
Yeah.
I've been taken twice to the movies. Now
Yeah.
it's my turn to.
Take somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wonder. Now I want to go see it, but I've gone to more movies in the last few months just because of what they've done. The Crawleys have done up here at
Capitol
Michael and
Theater,
the
yep.
Capitol Theater
Mhm.
because I'm so excited about it and I want to support them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, because I never go to the movies, and I've been going to that, and I will continue to as much as I can with my schedule. But this one now, I really want to go. And
Yeah,
normally I wouldn't bother going to I don't like going to Nashville
Right.
at all anymore.
Oh, yeah, well, there were two films that came out, and I thought I want to
Yeah.
go see those. Never got around to it, and now they're out on digital streaming, and I'm like, I'm going to go download them. You can download them now, and the whole family watch them for the price of a ticket.
Yeah.
But this is one that I would say, honestly, just
You need to have the experience.
yeah, the weight of the music and the soundtrack,
Yeah.
and then the scenes.
Interesting.
It does lend
And that's
itself.
the thing. Going into Capitol Theater, it's the experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's the experience of going into this historical theater and just sitting there together and all this. And it's just a going to the movies. I love that. There are times that it's a good family outing, and I love that. I love what you're doing, Michael. I love what you're doing there. But we got to do a break, man. It's 10 till. Anyway, time goes too fast. I love talking to you. We have a lot of fun, but we got to get to business. We need to talk about our friends over at the UPS store. They'll be opening up here in a few minutes. Do you have some Amazon stuff you need to return? I do. A book I bought the other day, and I was like, I got it. And I looked at it, I was like, no, I don't want this. I got to take that back. And what's really cool about it is that you can go in, and they have these kiosks sitting there where you can take care of it all yourself. And Tom said, he goes, when they first offered these self-serve kiosks with Amazon, he goes, I didn't want it. I wanted to be customer service. I wanted to be hands-on. But he goes, then one day I looked and I saw people standing in line, and I was like, maybe I would better serve my customers and give them the option to get in and out.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why they put those kiosks in there. But he really wants you to know that. He don't want you to think that he's got that over there so he doesn't have to fool with you. He's did that for your convenience. And so if you've got things and you're in a hurry and you want to zip in and out, I love doing it because I feel like I'm playing store. You know how you used to love to play store when you're a little kid?
Awesome.
I kind of, I'm going to be 64 in December, but I still revert back and I'm like, I'm the retailer. I'm just, I don't know, I'm being stupid. But yeah, exactly. And of course, you get to do that at Walmart all the time now and Kroger and all the places, check yourself out. And I kind of like it. But anyway.
Were they programming us, from a young child?
Yes. Those little toys that we had were going to pretend to be the grocer so we can do what we're doing now. Yeah. But you can do that. I'm sorry, we digress. But you can do that now at the UPS store. And it's for your convenience. It's about customer service. So you can zip in and out, get what you need to get done, and you can head on down the road. They've got hours to serve everybody 7 days a week, guys. 8 a.m. to 6:30, Monday through Friday, and then Saturday, 9 to 3, Sunday from 10 to 3. And guys, it's just a great store. Love going in there and talking to the folks. They're the everything store. You'll find that on their banner if you go and pull up their Facebook page. They always have some kind of great special going, great coupon. And here's the thing. If you hang on to your coupons, maybe it's a coupon for postcards or something like that, and I don't need that this month, hang on to it because when you do need it, they never expire, but you got to hang on to your coupon. So whatever the coupons are, go in and grab them, make sure you keep it, and that way when you need that service, it's taken care of. Maybe you need some shredding done or something like that, and there's a special going. Well, hang on to those coupons. And when you need it, you'll have it. Maybe you need it right now. If you need a mailbox, if you need somebody place for your packages to be delivered so you don't have porch pirates taking stuff, you can take care of that. They're at the UPS store. Everybody in there is a notary. I've talked a lot about this. When we were selling my parents' estate after my mother passed away, my brother was like, hey, I'm sending you stuff. You got to get it notarized. And I'm like, no more, because I didn't have to go hunt down a notary. You just go right to the UPS store. Everybody in there can notarize it, and you're on your way. So simple. So that they take the headache out of that. Everybody's a notary. It's the notary store. It's the everything store. It's the print store. It's the drop off your Amazon stuff store. It's the mail anything store. I've told so many people about going in there, and they had this tank come in one day, and I'm like, what in the world are they mailing? And it had something to do with insemination for cattle. And they were mailing it.
Yikes.
I was like, okay. And they took care of it at the UPS store. So I'm just saying, I can't come up with a better example of mailing something than that. But it's just, anyway, the UPS store, our UPS store, they're going to be opening soon. They'll be opening up at, what did I give the hours? Let's do the hours one more time. 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 on Saturday, 10 to 3 on Sunday. They're located at 513 Memorial Boulevard here in Springfield. Tell them U-Turn sent you when you get by there. And we're going to get back to Patrick here, but we still need to talk about Valor Mortgage. We talked way too long before we did an ad, so we're having to get them all in here.
Yep.
I just, we got to pay for everything. So,
Sure.
But anyway, so what else have you got for us, Patrick?
Okay. Change the subject.
Okay.
Nobody's hearing about it, and it's kind of scary. Okay.
Oh.
It's scary that nobody's hearing.
Okay.
It needs to be out there. 2 times this week, AI made the news. It broke out of its container sandbox. First time, ChatGPT company OpenAI. The next version, we're at 5.5 now, 5.6 Sol. It broke out. They give them tests. Here's your sandbox. They kind of build firewalls around it and say, they give it a task. Hey, you do this, and it's a complicated task.
Yeah.
And so it decided to enlist the help of another AI model, contacted it. Okay, creepy here.
That's super creepy.
That one helped this one escape. It broke out of the firewall. It went down the road and hacked another AI company, an open source AI called Hugging Face, where they...
What?
Okay, anyway, so
Yeah.
it found another AI company server. It got the answer key. Instead of doing the task itself in the sandbox, it enlisted the help of another AI, cheated by breaking out of its sandbox, going and getting the answer key, coming back and submitting it as if it had done it itself.
What?
The first time it's ever happened where an AI system on its own was given a task and broke the law and cheated. It literally broke the law. I mean, if somebody else had done that, they would be fined or in prison.
Yeah.
And so now here's what's crazy. OpenAI, Sam Altman, they went and shook hands with Hugging Face CEO. And so now they're in the news, like shaking hands saying, hey, look what we did together. Like,
No, you didn't.
Oh yeah. And so nobody's talking about it, but we are like, this is not good. And
This is Terminator stuff.
Yes, you're right.
Like,
And then
I'll be back.
And then they announced that, and everybody's like, well, this is not good, but the AI companies spin it, hey, we caught it, and we're good, and we're going to work together now. Yeah, right.
Shaking hands.
Right. Well, now,
Don't look, nothing to see here.
Anthropic, the
Ew,
company
creepy.
that does Claude, Anthropic,
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if they get jealous because they're not in the news or what, but they just like this morning they said, oh, by the way, we had our system and it broke into 3 servers, the last couple of weeks. So I don't know if they want everybody to think theirs is powerful too, or if they just feel a need to disclose. But on their case, they said, well, we had a human who kind of left the back door open on something. It wasn't our system that broke out, but we did leave a security thing. Anyway, so all the AI, like the safety people, the people that are like doomsday, they're all like, told you so, and hey, this wasn't supposed to happen until the end of 2027, and it's already happened, and it's mid 2026. And so anyway, and I use it, and I think it's going to be productive.
I use chat, yeah.
I have a project going on my computer right now with Codex. I said, hey, I've been preaching for 30 years. I've got videos and blog posts and sermon notes and Google Docs and Dropbox files and handwritten notes. And go to all these places and build me a vault index it all, where I can do a search for Esther, the providence of God. And it'll show me over the last 30 years anytime I've referenced that. And so it's literally been going as my little agent it'll go and read transcriptions of old videos and bring them in. And it'll ask me like, hey, I'm having a problem getting to this video. Will you give me permission to use this tool to, and it's super smart. It's spent hours and hours. It's all pretty much free.
Yeah.
But it's building it. It's very useful. Now I'm able to,
yeah.
I mean, it's like indexed almost 2 million words of mine and put them in topics and put scripture reference. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Well, I use it for things like that. When I hit a blank, I'm like, okay, I can't figure out what to go with this. And I love Dr. Kenneth Bailey. I love his material. And so I took the transcript of his videos, because I've been, studying his stuff and studying his stuff, and a lot of it has to. This is the stuff that has about to do with women in ministry and the stuff that I think I'm supposed to help present in love, not in like let me do this. No, it's in love, because I think we're wrong on this, guys. So let's just kind of preface it with that. And so I've taken that and put that in chat, the transcript, and say, can you put this into bullet points for me and give me, because it's a lot. I mean, this guy was brilliant, and it's a lot of material that I'm trying to commit to memory. And so I need some bullet points. I need some, just some things categorized where I can, make it easier to
distilling it down.
Yeah. And it's been great with that. My problem is when I'm looking at it, I'm going, well, did you miss something? I don't really completely trust it, because I'm like, I don't want to miss anything that he had. And I don't trust the AI to go, yes, I got everything that matters. It's like, well, do you understand how important what he just said there is to the message that I feel you know what I mean?
Sure. Oh yeah.
I don't want to take I can't take the human factor out of that.
Yep.
I like the condensed version of it, but I'm still going, there's a little something missing here. I write children's stories. I have a children's series that I wrote years ago that I'm working on relaunching. And I have a news story that I was working on. And while we were traveling across country, doing our cross-country road trip to Mexico that we did for our mission trip, I was working on it. And I said, okay, chat, here's one of my stories. This is the next story. Let's work on it together and kind of help me through it. And it was okay. I completely rewrote everything because it was like, that didn't have the feel.
Sure.
And so I had to completely, but it was okay. It gave me some ideas, but you can't let it replace the spirit of it.
Oh yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It makes a great analyst. I took all of my like 5,000 conversations that I've had in my small business.
Right.
I exported them out of my software and uploaded them. And I said, create for me an SOP, like a script guide, how we respond to people based on 5,000 conversations.
Wow. Okay.
And it took about a minute and a half. And then it said, hey, here's what, and it produced this document and guidelines based on 5,000 of my conversations. And I got looking and I thought, golly, this is amazing.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
But you got to make sure we're doing it.
Oh man, in the ministry of the Spirit, right? In the ministry of the Spirit, that's totally different. I'm sure that some guys are like, hey, I'm preaching on this, crank me out something.
Yeah.
But man, that's
interesting. But I hadn't heard any of that. I'm gonna look into that. We're over time,
Sorry.
but pause for a second and we'll say bye here in a second. And we're gonna pause and talk about my friends over at Valor Mortgage and Chris Armtrout. I mean, this is a guy that when it comes to your future, whatever you need, if it's investing, maybe you're buying your first home. My kid is a veteran, and so he has access to VA loan options and stuff. And so because of that, he has taken his house he was living in, he's renting that, and he's bought another home. Maybe that's something you want to do, an investment type thing, and you want to see what is available for you. Well, they can help you with that at Valor Mortgage, whether it be VA loan, VHA loans, jumbo loans, conventional, whatever it is, they have the tools to get you to the closing table, and they're your neighbors, guys. It's not going to be like you click on something and you become a number and they spam you. Chris and his team of experienced loan officers, they're here to serve you. And all you got to do is just pick up the phone and call them. 615-671-9178, 615-671-9178, or go to valor.mortgage, get pre-approved today. Find out how much you can work with, because you don't want to bite off more than you can chew. It's so important that you do that on the front end. So if you'll do that, they will be ready to serve you and help you. And again, you won't be a number. They are in the business of making sure they get you to the closing table, and they have all the tools to do that. Reach out to them today. Again, that number, 615-671-9178, 615-671-9178, or valor.mortgage. Valor.mortgage, get pre-approved today, because when it matters most, you deserve a lender you can trust. Buy with confidence, buy with Valor. Valor Mortgage, NMLS number 1210804, DBA of Encore Lending Group, NMLS 1249911, equal housing lender, subject to credit approval, rates and terms subject to change without notice, not a commitment to lend, and let them know U-Turn sent you. Patrick Nix is in the house, and again, I can't get him on air to commit to coming every second Friday. I'm teasing. But, and honestly, the reason why that's open is our sweet friend, Jack Martin. He was home. He passed away last month, and just miss him tremendously. And I was talking to his grandson's one of my students, and I said, let your family know that on YouTube, most of the shows that we did with Jack are archived. Now, Facebook, this live stream, they dump them after a month now. So you don't want to count on Facebook to save your stuff, but we have all this stuff archived on YouTube, and precious shows and stuff that I'm so thankful that we do have. And thank you, Ebenezer Broadcasting, for doing that for us. But I do have that second Friday open because Jack has gone home and he's partying up there.
I will pray for you that we find the right person.
You're so funny. Well, I can just, call, I love having you and David both on, and I can just call different ones. It's like, David, are you available? Okay. Well, and I'd love for you to bring Joy in,
Well, I tried to talk her into it.
Yeah, I knew you said you were thinking, I was kind of thinking she'd be here today.
I was hopeful. She worked late last night. She works Chef Smart Catering Company.
Gotcha.
And she was just like, honey, I love you.
She and I are cut from the same cloth. I've talked with her enough to know that she and I've got a lot of things in common. And Stephanie, Dr. Stephanie Evans, we got two doctors over at the Evans household. And, I had told David to bring Stephanie in. So I got this husband-wife couples, that I'd love to have you guys in. So we'll float it. We'll get you guys in. And anybody, if you know somebody in the faith community that needs some time on the air, please come and see us. And this is something I want to mention that Lee Marie wanted to be sure. The folks over at Epiphany Baptist, they're having a back to school thing tomorrow starting at 10. It's back to school with Jesus, and that's happening starting at 10 a.m. So
Epiphany?
At Epiphany Baptist, and that's at 10 a.m. And so go over and see them. They're going to have some fun going over there and get you all geared up to take Christ back with you to school.
Mark and Pam, the
great people.
Pastors.
He's a teacher. He's in the school system with us. So, that'd be a great place to go tomorrow with your kiddos. So I guess it's a 5 after. We probably it'll use going LaVern, wrap it up. But anyway, he done. Anyway, this has been fun.
It has.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother. Tell them, invite them to church at Flu Allen.
Yeah, Flu Ellen Church, fluellen.org. If you misspell it, it'll still find it. Yeah. But we meet at 11 o'clock on Sundays. We have Bible studies at 10 o'clock for all ages and groups, and some great things going there. Anyway, thank you.
You got the men's stuff on Monday nights, right? Do you have a men's program?
Yes. And men, we gather on Mondays. Ladies gather on Thursdays. Okay. And then we have another,
gathering on Wednesday night. So just go and check it out on the website. Find a church family this weekend. You know what? Be a part of half a dozen church families, whatever. But find your place and find some time.
We all need that community.
Yeah, and you just need to have time for intentional worship. And I hope you'll find that. And I hope you enjoy your final day of summer break. Teachers, kids, you get one more day Monday. Have a great weekend, you guys. God bless you. Thank you for joining us. This is 1100 WSGI.
Don't place no limits. Now I've heard the story of the Hebrew 3, how the boys wouldn't bow and had to